guess.
Can you see my presentation?
Yeah.
Can you see the actual slides, or do you see what I'm seeing? I think you can see. You're muted. I can't hear you.
I just see the slides. I don't see the notes, so you should be all right.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. So I think we are ready to go. Yeah, okay. All right, so we have some people in here. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Sorry, guys, we were having a little bit of some technical difficulties going on, but we'll go ahead and get started. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself, and then I will let Sam introduce himself as well. Also, while we're going through the presentation, if you guys have any questions, you should see a Q&A button at the bottom or the top of your screen, however you have it laid out. If you have questions during the presentation, just type something in there, and then Sam will either respond to you or I will respond to you. But my name is Elizabeth Rowell. I'm a freshman admissions counselor here at Lander University. I'm also an alumni of Lander University, graduated in May of 2018. Like I said, if you guys have any questions during the presentation, just chat in the box, and then I'll turn it over to Sam really quick and let him introduce himself.
Hey everyone, my name's Sam Lynn. I'm also an alumni of Lander, graduated in 2018 as a business major, and I'm a freshman admissions counselor. So like Biz said, if you have any questions, feel free to put that down in the chat. And while she's presenting, I'll take care of those questions and vice versa when I take over. So.
All right, awesome. So we will actually go ahead and get started. So welcome to Lander, you guys. We're just going to go over some information that we have, if it'll let me. There we go. Oh, it's skipping ahead. Go back. Okay, there we go. All right, so Lander University, so we're located mainly in the upstate of South Carolina. Lander was actually founded originally in Williamson, South Carolina, and we moved to Greenwood in 1904. We are a four-year public co-educational liberal arts university as well, with just over 3,200 students in total. So I think with our last enrollment report, we had around 3,300, but we're also 31% male and 69% female. And that large gap is just attributed to nursing and education being two of our largest and our most popular majors here that we do have on campus. We also represent 23 states and 28 countries, so you guys will get a nice diverse education while you're here at Lander. You'll get to meet people from all over the country and all over the world. All right, so Greenwood, South Carolina. So there's a lot of stuff to do in Greenwood. There's a lot of different cool amenities that we offer as well. So for one, we do have over 100 different restaurants. Pretty much anywhere you look in Greenwood, you will see a restaurant somewhere. If you're a big Chick-fil-A person, like our whole admissions office, we do have around 3 Chick-fil-A's within about a mile of each other. We also just added a Chick-fil-A on campus this year as well, and that's really popular with our students and our Greenwood community. But we also do have Lake Greenwood, which is about 10 to 15 minutes away from campus. Students can rent boats over the summer. They can go tubing, skiing, kayaking, jet skiing as well, fishing, whatever they're interested in, they have that accessible. We are also centrally located for easy travel. So like I said, we're mainly located in the upstate. We're about an hour and a half from Columbia. We're about 45 minutes south of Greenville, about an hour and 15 minutes southeast of Clemson, about 3 hours from Atlanta, and 2.5 hours from Charlotte. So if students want to take a day trip on the weekend or just take a weekend trip as well, we're not really far from any of those major cities around us. We also have a lot of small businesses here in Greenwood, in Uptown Greenwood, which is pictured in the back of this slide. We have a lot of boutiques, clothiers, a lot of local restaurants as well, and it's also home to 2 of our largest festivals. So our Festival of Flowers and our Barbecue Festival usually take place in the spring and summer months, and that's just a great opportunity for the community to get together for a long weekend as well. We also have a lot of other cool amenities here in Greenwood. We have a drive-in movie theater about 5 miles from campus. You pay $10, get to see 2 new up-to-date movies, super cheap. You know, now if you go to the movies, you pay like $10 to see 1 movie. But also we have a regular movie theater, we have shops, a bunch of different restaurants, we have a bowling alley, we also have a roller skating rink, and then if we don't have it, Greenville has it, and they're about 45 minutes away. So a bunch of cool opportunities for students to do on the weekends. And then we do also have over 60 areas of study here on campus, that including our majors, our minors, and our pre-professional studies. Pre-professional studies are things that you can add on to your major if you're interested in the medical aspect. So we have pre-dental, pre-med. We also have pre-pharmacy, pre-PT, pre-OT, pre-athletic training as well, and a couple others. But we also have a 16-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. So for every 16 students, we have one faculty member. And then we also do have an average class size of 21 students. So probably about the same size as your high school classes, maybe a little smaller or bigger depending on the size of your high school. But we also do have 7 colleges and schools here on campus, including the Honors College. Our largest majors that we have on campus are nursing, education, business, biology, psychology, and exercise science. But like I said, we do have over 60 different areas to choose from. We also did add 5 new majors this school year as well, super exciting stuff. So we added 3 to our College of Business. We added sports management. We also added IT management, and then we also added hospitality management. We also added a new major to our College of Behavioral and Social Sciences. We added human services as a major as well. And we also added another major to our School of Nursing, which is health promotions and wellness. So a lot of new programs, a lot of exciting opportunities, and a lot of different things for you guys to be able to major in. So the Honors College as well, I don't know if any of you guys are specifically interested in the Honors College, but as you can see, you'll see an 1170 SAT or 24 ACT test score. Right now, the Honors College is test optional for the fall. If you're interested in applying for the Honors College, you can find their application on our website as well, and that application is due April 1st, but like I said, they're test optional right now for next fall, so they would just get you to submit something extra, like maybe an extra letter of recommendation, or you'd have to write an essay in place of your test scores, or just something like that. They have options for you guys to choose from on their website, but they just have a lot of different opportunities. They get to go on field trips together. They have different study abroad opportunities and different internship opportunities. And the traditional Lander student they have perks like they get priority registration, they get to register for classes first, and they also have a living and learning community on one of our halls of Centennial Hall. So our Academic Success Center, this is a pretty popular department here on campus. This is where we have free and unlimited tutoring. So 2 pretty big words you don't really see put together very often. You never have to pay anything, and you can go as many times as you would like. Our students here at Lander are peer tutored by other Lander students, and you can absolutely be a tutor if you're interested in earning some extra money. They are our highest paid student workers on campus as well. You just have to make an A in the class you're interested in tutoring in, and you also have to have a 3.0 overall GPA. And they also recommend that the professor of whatever class you're trying to tutor for writes you a recommendation letter, but it's not required. But we also have personal academic advising. So your freshman academic advisor will be held in the Academic Success Center. We just thought it was important to split up freshman advising from upperclassmen advising, just so you guys can go to your specific academic advisor, ask them questions about Lander University as a whole, ask them questions about whether or not you're getting credit or you're retaking classes that you already took for dual enrollment, all kinds of stuff like that, and they can help you create your schedule for your first semester and help you with your second semester schedule as well. And then student accommodations, they also have those over there. So if students have testing accommodations or they need a quiet place to take a test or extra time to take a test, they will set that up in health services first. And then they have those accommodations over in the Academic Success Center for those students. So career services, this is another super important department that we have here on campus. They're located in our library on the 3rd floor, but they hold things like resume workshops. They can look over your cover letter. They can hold mock interviews as well. They can also help you take free practice tests for the GRE, GMAT, MCAT, and LSAT if any graduate medical or law school is something you guys are thinking about after Lander. They also hold grad school fairs as well. I believe we have a virtual grad school fair. I believe it's tomorrow, actually. So they're supposed to have one of those tomorrow, and then we will have one again in March for students to get involved in and to be able to get information about different grad school opportunities after they leave Lander. And then we also have an online job board that every single student at Lander is enrolled in. Once they start school, and they post part-time employment around the Greenwood community. They will post student work study jobs that we have available on campus for students who are interested in working on campus. And then they will also post full-time employment opportunities for students who have graduated that need help finding a job. Excuse me. So housing and residence life. So freshman housing, our freshmen do have a 1-year live-on requirement. You do have to live on campus your freshman year, and then your sophomore through senior year, you can move off campus. But in the back of this picture, or in the back of this slide, is Centennial Hall. It's our most popular freshman residence hall, just because students in there have their own room. It's set up like a small apartment style. So it's 4 people in a room total, and then they share the common living area, bathroom and shower area, and a kitchenette area, but then they each have their own separate rooms within that one bigger room. New residence hall, brand new. They haven't come up with a new name for it yet, so all of our students just call it New Hall or New Res. That one's kind of set up like a hotel, so it's 2 students in a room, one big open common area, kitchenette, bathroom, shower that they share. We do not have communal bathrooms here at Lander, so you're only ever sharing the bathroom with either 1 other student or 3 other students, or 4 other students, including yourself, depending on which residence hall you live in. We also have Chipley Hall, which is our all-female residence hall. That one's Jack and Jill style, so it's 2 people in one room, 2 people in the other, and there's a bathroom that separates the 2 rooms. And then Brookside as well is set up exactly like Chipley. We also have living and learning communities. Our art village, they live over in Williamston. They get to paint their own rooms. Our ROTC and bass fishing team, they live in Brookside. And then the Honors College, like I previously mentioned, they can live on the 1st floor of Centennial if they are interested. We also have 6 upperclassmen residence halls as well if students are interested in living on campus at any given point. 50% of our total student body lives on campus. We have around 1,800 beds total on campus. But if you guys wanted to live on campus, you absolutely can in one of our upperclassmen residence halls, or you can move off campus and get an apartment or a house with some of your friends. But parking passes as well, you can have a car with you your freshman year at Lander. You'll just have a parking pass depending on which residence hall you live in that's only designated for that hall. And then student activities. So this is pretty much where all the fun stuff happens on campus between after hours and between classes. So campus recreation in the fitness center. I was a student worker in campus recreation when I was here and absolutely loved it. They do intramurals. They host club sports as well. They're also in charge of the fitness center, so they can give you any equipment that you're interested in checking out. They have basketballs, footballs, soccer balls. They can set up volleyball nets, badminton nets, give you racquetball equipment, all kinds of cool stuff, all free of charge as well. You just give them your Lander ID. But then we also do have over 60 clubs and organizations here on campus as well. And if we don't have a club or organization that you are interested in joining, then you and 6 other Lander students can create a brand new club or organization. We also do have 9 Greek life organizations here on campus as well between MPC and MPHC. So if you're interested in Greek life, absolutely give it a chance. And then also our Health and Wellness Center and Campus Safety and our Lander Police Department. So those 2 departments are attached to our Academic Success Center. We call it basically the circle of life here on campus, just because all 3 important things are in one open area. So the Health and Wellness Center, we have 2 registered nurses who are over there during all business hours, and they are on call after business hours and on the weekends. They also have 3 licensed counselors over there. So if students are feeling anxious or they're getting homesick or they just need somebody to talk to, students can make an appointment free of charge over there to talk with a counselor. And then we also have disability services in the Health and Wellness Center, and that's just if students have IEP plans, 504 plans, or they need to bring a service dog with them to campus, or they just need special accommodations, that is taken care of through them. And then Campus Safety and LUPD, a super awesome department as well. They can help you jumpstart your car if your battery dies and help you change a flat tire. That we have had that happen multiple times, me a few times with a dead battery as well. But they're also state police. They have statewide jurisdiction. They're not just Lander police. They're trained through the South Carolina Criminal Justice Academy, and our 911 dispatchers are state trained as well. They're also here 365 days a year, 24/7. So they're here all the time, even when we don't have students or faculty or staff on campus. And then also food and dining options, you'll be able to get to choose whatever meal plan you're interested in or how many times you think you'll go into the dining hall. And then we also have different dining options. We have a Starbucks on campus as well. We have Chick-fil-A, like I previously mentioned. We have Which, and then we have our pod. And our pod just stands for Provisions on Demand, and it's basically like a tiny on-campus convenience store. So if you don't have time to go get a full meal in the dining hall, in between classes or anything, you can swing by there and grab a snack. Oh, did it switch? There we go.
All right, guys. So getting to athletics, Lander University has 20 plus sports here. We are Division II, and we are in the Peach Belt Conference. The Peach Belt Conference is an extremely competitive conference, no matter what sport you play. We did get new sports, 6 of them. So men's and women's lacrosse, men's and women's rugby, wrestling, and acrobatics and tumbling was added this previous year on campus. So including that, we do have quite a few accolades to go around. Men's and women's basketball both finished top 16 in the country back in March, but the tournament ended up getting canceled due to COVID. So they both had really good seasons. The women's basketball team is always really dominant. As far as men's soccer goes, they did finish top 3 in the country 2 years ago. Baseball has finished top 3 in the country and made it to the World Series twice in the past 6 years. Volleyball is always really dominant as well. And then Shannon Dance won the national championship a few years back. On top of athletics, we do have 9 club sports as well. Club sports are competed with students from other institutions and universities. It is student ran, so they need to raise their own money for equipment and jerseys and stuff like that. And we also have over 30 plus intramurals on campus as well. Intramurals are competed with your peers here at Lander. And there's plenty to choose from, including esports, baseball, basketball, football, indoor and outdoor soccer. Like I mentioned with esports, there's Fortnite, 2K, and all that stuff that a lot of students play. So there's plenty around to go around with club sports and intramurals as well. So on the next slide with applying to Lander, the good news is our application is absolutely free. Let's see, is the slide not going? It's just a little delayed. Give me 1 second.
There we go. Sorry, I was clicking it and it wasn't moving.
So applying to Lander, the good news is our application is absolutely free. It's free year round. You don't need a fee waiver code, and there is no essay. So you can knock it out pretty quickly. It'll only take you about 15 to 20 minutes. If you have any questions about the application, you can see that you just need to go to admissions.lander.edu, and you'll see all the applications available for undergraduate applications. On the next slide, so what we'll need for requirements is a high school transcript. We'll need that official transcript. You can either submit it onto the application and we'll mark that official, or you can have your guidance counselor send that over and we'll get that into the system as well. We are test optional due to COVID, so we will not need test scores to make a decision. We'll just need that high school transcript to make a decision, but to keep in mind, in order to be eligible for any kind of scholarships, we will need those SAT or ACT scores to give out any kind of scholarships based on those test scores, which is extremely important. We know a lot of students were not able to take the SAT or the ACT due to COVID. If you happen to take it early in your junior year, no matter what score you got, we definitely recommend to get those sent in, and we'll take whatever you have. The next slide is transfer students. We won't be going over that since we are speaking to the undergraduate students. And as far as tuition, so our tuition, we are on a 5-year tuition freeze, which means our tuition has not gone up in the last 5 years. We're extremely proud to keep that number at $11,700 for tuition and fees. And as you can see, the bottom total for in-state students is that $24,000 mark, and that will include your tuition and fees, your room and board, and your full access meal plan. And like Biz was mentioned earlier, that full access meal plan, you can go as many times as you want. If you're just going in to eat 3 meals a day, or you want to go in and grab a brownie or any kind of snack, you can just pop right in. It's absolutely unlimited. And she also mentioned with the Bearcat Bucks, you can stop by with Chick-fil-A or Which or the pod here on campus, including Starbucks. So also including financial aid, the FAFSA priority date opened up on October 1st, and the priority deadline is November 1st. So that's not the absolute cutoff deadline, but that is a priority date to where if you fill out your FAFSA before then, you are kind of towards the top of the list and you're just a priority to get looked at for your FAFSA. I would definitely recommend filling that out. Even if you don't need it, just kind of take a look and see what kind of offers you get. I mentioned, everything's going to help for sure as far as financial aid goes. And our financial aid department will be taking a look at that, including scholarships, which I believe is on the next slide. So that's really important as far as test scores and transcript goes. So I was mentioning about the SAT and ACT test scores, scholarships and everything like that. November 15th is a really firm deadline that we have here on campus or at Lander. So any kind of scholarships, institutional scholarships, and merit-based scholarships that we want to give out based on those SAT scores or ACT scores, GPA, and class rank, we will need all those official documents in before that November 15th deadline to be eligible for those scholarships. We do obviously accept those state awards, so Hope, Life, Palmetto Fellows, and everything like that that you did receive for a state scholarship, that will be granted here as well on campus. If y'all have any questions regarding any other kind of other scholarships, whether it's housing scholarships or anything like that, you can contact our financial aid office, which we can leave that down in the chat box if we have to, and you can contact them and just see what you will need as a student to possibly be eligible for those scholarships on top of those state awards and merit-based scholarships as well. So what will happen with the admissions process is we are rolling admissions, which means we make decisions every single week. So you won't need to wait too long on the decision deadline. Usually after we receive the transcript, we'll start making the decision, and within about 2 weeks, you should receive a packet. And that packet will have all kinds of information, your acceptance letter and everything like that. And you will receive that commit card. And what you'll need to do with that, if you're wanting to commit to Lander, you'll fill that out and you'll send it back to us. And that commit card will generate your username and password to be able to log into the housing portal and to submit your housing application. When you submit that housing application, it's a $150 non-refundable deposit, and that application will lock your spot in as a freshman. So no one can take that from you, and that's really important because that housing here on campus is a first come, first served basis, and so the earlier you submit that housing application, the better. And then what will happen is you'll fill out that application. If there's someone you want to live with on campus, you can jot their name down. And when they go to fill it out, they can accept that they do want to live with you on campus. And then later in May, you'll actually go in and get to actually pick your room and where you want to stay on campus. And that's where it's really important that the earlier you commit, the earlier time slot you will have to have first dibs on the room that you actually want to pick to live on campus. So that is really important. We do have May 1st as a deadline. May 1st is more of a national deadline. You are able to commit after May 1st, but we like to say that because like I mentioned, housing is first come, first serve. And that's really when housing starts to fill up to where you're not able to pick a room and get first dibs. So then we got some events that we have on campus. Open House is a very informative fair that we have on campus. We actually have one coming up this Saturday on October 10th and another one in November. And like I mentioned, so what will happen is pretty much every department that we have available on campus, whether it's administrative offices, athletic offices, or athletic departments and academic departments, every table in every department available on campus will have a table set up. So right before the presentation starts, parents and students can go around and pretty much any question they have is going to get answered during that info fair. So we'll go through the presentation and go to the department that you plan on studying, or you plan on majoring in. And the head of that department will go through a quick, not necessarily a presentation, but just kind of go through what they offer in that department, and parents and students can have any question they have is going to get answered inside that department as well. And then after that, it'll be split between lunch and a tour around campus, and lunch is provided by us. So it's a very informative fair where you get to talk to any department that's on campus, and then you get to talk to your academic department, and then you get to go on tour and see what Lander's all about and see where everything's at. So I would definitely highly recommend an open house. We also have Bearcat Fur Days. They're one Wednesday out of the month. And it's a really cool event because you get to come on campus, and let's just say you're a nursing major, you get to come on campus and see what it's like to be a Lander nursing student firsthand and sit in a nursing course. So the day will start out with a presentation in the beginning of the morning. And then while you go to class, if you have some parents with you or anyone with you, they'll stay behind for a parent panel. Financial aid will stay behind, wellness center, housing, LUPD, just some of those offices. So any question you have about Lander will get answered. And then while after that, you will then go to lunch and you'll go on a tour. So I definitely recommend a Bearcat for a Day. I think it's a really cool event so the students see what it's like to be a Lander student firsthand. And then we do have a junior preview day, a homeschool day, and an acceptance student day. Acceptance students day is later in the year. I believe it's in May or April for students who are accepted. It's just kind of a really cool event for people to have fun. We have barbecue and all kinds of things. So I would definitely recommend coming to that as well if you happen to get accepted and you're looking to come to Lander. I believe that is towards the end of the presentation. If y'all have any questions, we're here to answer anything that y'all have, and we're happy to help.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, you can type it in the question and answer box at the bottom, and then we'll read them out loud without mentioning your name, and then answer them as well. So if you have any questions pertaining to Lander at all, just please type in there and let us know, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions. All right, so we do have a question actually. Can you tell me more about your study abroad opportunities? Does the cost of tuition cover it? So I'll go ahead and answer that one. So we do have a lot of different study abroad opportunities here at Lander. Let me go ahead and dismiss that so we know we talked about it. But we do have a sister school over in Winchester, England. So that is where we send the majority of all of our students to study abroad. You can go to any other country really, and our study abroad coordinator can work that out with you depending on where you're interested in going. We do have students that go to Spain. We've had students go to Greece. We also have nursing students go to Africa as well for a summer study abroad. So it just kind of really depends on what you're interested in. Our sister school with Winchester, our Lander tuition covers the Winchester tuition. So it's a tuition exchange rate. So it's about the same. The only thing that's really different about that is your plane ticket to get you there and to get you back. You have to pay for that out of pocket. Obviously, I believe, but other than that, the Lander tuition rate is the same as the Winchester tuition rate. I cannot speak for the other countries just because that's the one we mainly get students from as well. But all majors here at Lander have the opportunity to study abroad. We do have more questions. So how do you know about junior day? Do you apply as a junior? So junior preview day is basically just a condensed open house that we do have on a Friday for all of our juniors, and it's only for high school juniors. So if you are a high school junior, you can attend that. We won't open the registration for that until next semester. We're kind of playing it by ear, month to month, just because we don't really know what's going on with the coronavirus. So that's just kind of what's going on right now, but you can attend junior preview day if you are a high school junior. So like I said, it's basically just a condensed open house on a Friday for all of our high school juniors. And then, does Lander have Greek life like sororities and fraternities? Do you want me to answer that, or do you want to answer that, Sam? I didn't know if you wanted.
I didn't know if you wanted to because you have personal experience being a sorority.
So I can. Yes, so we do have sororities and fraternities here on campus. We have, I believe, 3 or 4 fraternities. I think we have 3. And then we have 6 sororities here on campus. So a lot to get involved in, a lot to choose from. They do hold formal recruitment usually the August when you start school. It just depends on if they have recruitment before you start school or after, but we do have the opportunity to get involved in Greek life. I do believe we have 9 total organizations, so 6 sororities and 3 fraternities. Awesome. You guys have good questions. Please don't be afraid to ask some more. I'm going to go ahead and ask this too. This is one thing we didn't mention in the presentation, and if you are involved in it, you can just respond in the Q&A and put yes. Are any of you guys active military or veteran, or are you a dependent of an active military or veteran, which means are your parents in the military or have they been in the military previously? So you can just put yes or no. And then I do.
Super score. Yeah, so we do super score the SAT. So if you have taken it more than once, we will take the higher score of each section of each test. We do that with the SAT. Unfortunately, we do not do that with the ACT.
All right, and I do see a couple of you guys answered no as well. But I was just asking, we do have a new military and family tuition rate. So if you guys were a part of that, I was going to talk more about our scholarship opportunities for students and families who are a part of the military or have been a part of the military. Have you guys already completed the Lander application, or have you not completed it yet?
We might want to add for any students who have possibly come on a visit to Lander in the past, like probably more than a month ago, and have created an account. We did get a new application system. So if a student is filling out an application and the fall 2021 entry term is not popping up for them, don't freak out. Because of that, it was probably because you were logging in using your old login information from a daily tour or anything like that. What we'll need you to do is to go in and create a new account entirely. Even if you have created an account in the past, once when you create that new account, that fall 2021 term will pop up for you after you create that account.
And then I do believe we have 5 minutes left. I think this ends at 6:45. So if you guys have any other questions, please let us know. I wish there's not like an open chat in here. But if you guys want us to, if you're interested in our contact information, please just message us and we'll send it to you directly, or we can say it out loud and you guys can write it down. I'm currently the admissions counselor who works with students in the Midlands of South Carolina, and Sam is the counselor who works mainly with students in the upstate.
As well as the 7 counties.
Yes, that's right. I forgot you took that on as well. Do you want to answer this question?
So how does admission into Clemson work for the dual engineering degree? So what will happen is if you're looking to do engineering, what will happen is whether it's computer engineering or chemical engineering or anything like that, you'll either spend 2 years at Lander and then your remaining 3 years at Clemson, or you'll spend 3 years here at Lander and then your remaining 2 years at Clemson. So you'll be able to graduate in 5 years with 2 degrees, one from Lander and one from Clemson. I'm trying to think how the transition works because I haven't actually worked with a student transitioning into Clemson.
Yeah. I do believe that they, over in the College of Math and Science, they work with you diligently. So what you would do is when you are creeping up on your end time here at Lander, you apply to Clemson as a transfer student as their dual engineering program with Lander. And then it's pretty much just kind of a smooth transition. The dean of the College of Math and Science works closely with those students to make sure that they have everything they need to get admitted into Clemson once they try and leave Lander. But how that program works, like Sam says, is you either do 2 or 3 years with us here at Lander. You take all of your general education required classes and then all of your major specific classes, whether you choose computer information systems, math, or chemistry. And then you leave Lander and go to Clemson to do the engineering part of that degree, just because Lander, we don't house the facilities or anything like that for all of the engineering aspect of everything. So that's why we have that dual degree with Clemson, but that's just how it works. It's a very smooth transition and they work out everything over in the College of Math and Science for you guys. So you don't really have to stress about it. But from what I've heard from students who have started at Lander and then gone to Clemson for that program, they've said it's a very easy and smooth transition and a lot less stressful than they would have thought. Any other quick questions you guys can think about? Any more specific questions? Also, I know we talked about events too. We also have daily tours as well that are hosted Monday through Friday. You have the opportunity to either tour at 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. So we do have current tours open as well if you guys would like to come tour. We are limiting you guys to 2 guests as well per student. And then also we do have Tour Tuesdays. So if you guys ever wanted to do a virtual tour, you can register for that on our website as well under our virtual visit center. And then you'll get a virtual tour on Tuesdays by one of our presidential ambassadors or tour guides. And our presidential ambassadors are also the ones that give you guys tours anytime you come for a campus visit usually. But I think we are about to end here too. But thank you guys for coming. If you guys don't have any other questions as well, or if you guys have any questions about applying, please either call our office or email one of us counselors. You can find our contact information too in our directory online. I wish there was a way we could post it in here for you guys to see as well. But if you guys want our contact information before you leave, you can type in the questions and we can respond to you with our contact information as well. But if you guys, like I said, don't have any further questions, you guys are free to go as well. But thank you for coming. I don't know if Sam wants to add anything.
No, I don't have anything. We appreciate y'all coming out. Like Biz said, if you got any questions, go to our website. Feel free to email us or call us, and we'd be happy to help.
Oh, there we go.